You are now watching a Fili Fuego production. Gracias, amigos. Fly, Eagles, fly. Welcome to the Nest Out West, where Eagles fans are always the best. I will always ride or die for this team, and when I'm gone, please bury me in green. Now I don't want to come off like I'm bragging, but I'm gonna bring the heat like an effing dragon. You can call me Fuego, aka Phillyzilla, coming to you like the Thriller in Manila. Lots of collabs and live streams galore. You're gonna love what I have in store. Giving you my all, I always will try. And just remember, it's fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah.
What is good? What is going on? And what is cracking? I am Philly Foothills, and I am back in the Nest Out West, where I'm trying to bring you the best when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles content. And today, I am not rocking live on one stream media platform, but two. I am on YouTube and Facebook. So make sure you guys check me out on either one. But I am very, very glad to be joined finally in the Nest Out West by Mr. Joe Castro of Philly the podcast. Man, he dude's been killing it with the player interviews and things like that, and just putting out lots and lots of content, hitting that grindstone. Just so I'm very, very, like I said, very honored to have you on the show. And just if any of my Phillies don't know who Joe Castro with Philly the podcast, aka Philly Fresco, is, let them know where you at, where they could find you at, brother.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you for having me on, man. Yeah, like you said, it's been in the making for a while, so I'm glad I was able to come on. But yeah, Philly the podcast, man, at Philly TP on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. I can't speak. On Instagram or on Twitter at Philly TP, Philly podcast on YouTube, on all the streaming services, all that good stuff, and on Newsbreak app. So yeah, definitely anywhere you get your news from, you'll probably find us. But having fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, it shows it. That interview you did earlier today, you and Jack Stoll, it definitely looked like you guys were having fun. So yeah, keep doing your thing, man. It definitely. I'm not. I know I'm not the only one who enjoys your stuff, and there's lots of more people to be that are still the people who go into hibernation, those kind of fans that haven't found us yet. They're going to definitely enjoy it. Yeah. I know they're going to enjoy your podcast, and I know they're going to enjoy my stuff too. So yeah, I can't. I just can't wait for the season to start, man.
Definitely, yeah. It needs to be September already. I'm ready for some football.
Right. So I mean, we're just going to jump right into it. I mean, who do you think really is going to be, as far as the opposite sides of the ball? Who do you think is going to be the dominant force for this team this year?
I mean, on offense, you got to hope that it's Jalen Hurts. I feel like as much disrespect as he's been getting, like I feel like no matter what he does, he's gonna surprise somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like no matter how good or bad he is, he's gonna surprise somebody. Because I don't know if you saw the Chris Sims, list of 40 quarterbacks. Apparently, Jalen Hurts isn't even in the top 40 to Chris Sims. So that was interesting. And I just feel like it keeps on piling up. So I want it to be Jalen Hurts just because I feel like he's so disrespected. If I had to pick anybody else, though, I'm going to say that it's going to probably be Devontae Smith. I think that we've been waiting for a player like him on either side of the ball for a long time. So, I'm excited to see him on the offensive side. On the defensive side, it gets a little bit tough. I want to say Fletcher Cox should be. We have a very dominant defensive line once again. If we should, if healthy, have a lot of depth, a good rotation. Adding somebody like Ryan Kerrigan obviously frees up a lot. You still got Brandon Graham. You got Derek Barnett and Josh Sweat fighting for a position where at worst they're both the same. At worst, they're both the same level. So that will be interesting, and you add the competition to it. So, all these guys are going to be hungry going out on that line. So I would say Fletcher Cox is in a position that he can go out there and get some one-on-ones. even 2-on-1s, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even just bring it down to a double team every now and then. And I don't think he'll be asked to anchor the defensive line. Thus, he'll be able to kind of go crazy as far as stats go. So I'll go with my guy, Fletcher Cox.
I got you. Yeah, and I like your picks definitely. But if you're gonna take if you're gonna take the offense or the defense, like how some teams are more defensive dominant. They try to hold the scores low because their offense isn't as good. What do you think? Which way do you think this team's gonna lean this year? You think we're gonna be more defensive dominant, or I know that's a hard call. I know, but
I would probably
pick your brain.
I would probably just to kind of like looking at the players.
Yeah.
I would say there's probably less question marks on the offensive side, in my opinion, just because I feel like even if Jalen Hurts isn't great, I feel like we do have 3 very good running backs. I feel like we do know that even if, Zach Ertz isn't here, I feel confident with Richard Rodgers being number 2. I feel confident with Dallas Goedert being number 1. I, do feel confident that Devontae Smith can live up to his draft stock. I think there's a lot of questions on the defensive side. So, I think that there might be talent there, but we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to definitely – and you can say that about both sides, but I just feel a little bit more confident right now about our offense going out there and performing to a level of winning us games. I don't know if our defense is at the point that they can win us games. They might keep us in games. We might not get blown out because of our defense, but will it be, 13-10 games? I don't think we're built for that yet.
Yeah. I mean, and I think I would tend to agree because, like you said, we think we definitely have a lot more holes on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the secondary. I know a lot of us have been talking about cornerback too, things like that, but and we all know that Xavier Howard is holding out in Miami, down where you are. I don't know what part of Florida you're in, but in your state of Florida, he is holding out. So, I mean, that's my next question for you. Would you right now put the money aside, the contract that he wants, things like that, but would you give up a first-round pick for Xavier Howard right now?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Especially depending on which one it is. Like if it's Miami's, I don't think Miami's going to be trash. So, it wouldn't be like a crazy top 10 pick. If it's ours, we'd really have to look about how much better he would make us, because if we're going to be a top 10 team, like as far as draft picks go, I don't know that you really want to give up that pick right now for somebody that's 27, 28, something like that. I love Xavier Howard, and I think that he would be a great addition to this team. But I also don't think that he's really willing to be a number 2 on a team that's not necessarily going to be great. So there's a lot to take into it. Like, would we even be able to get another contract out of him? What does that mean for Darius Slay? On paper, it seems really cool to have 2 top guys, but in the locker room, it could really mess some things up, And I don't know. I don't know. On the surface, yes, I would love to get Xavier Howard in this building, but I feel like there's so many things that can happen surrounding that. And I know you said not to think about the money, but you got to think about the money.
True.
It's hard not to think about the money, especially when you're extending or not extending, but you're restructuring somebody like Darius Slay, and he's billed to make over $20 million next year as a cap hit. So it's a weird situation that we're in, especially at cornerback. I think there's other options, but if that's who they went with, I wouldn't be mad. I definitely would not be mad about that.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of while we're talking corners, we did draft one, this past April in Zach McPherson. Do you think we're going to see him? I know we're going to see him on the field this year, but how much do you think we're going to see him on the outside? Playing on the outside, and do you think that's a good thing for him? Jumping into the fire like that his first year.
Yeah. I mean, Zach has a lot of tools, like as far as like his build, as far as like on tape, he was a very good cornerback in college. He didn't go to a huge school or anything, but Texas Tech didn't play. They're not Division II at the end of the day. He did play in a good school. It just weren't the biggest of schools. He was highly ranked all of last year, so I think that there's a chance that we see him on the outside. I don't think that we'll see him on the inside. I think that if he can't make it as an outside cornerback, I don't see him beating people like Avonte Maddox. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we have our cornerback figured out. So I think even by, I don't want to say forcing it, but like, I think there is no real other option for him other than the outside, at least for this year. Maybe moving forward, if we figure out, he's not built for the outside, but you have to put him out there, and you got to see what he's capable of doing. Same thing with Michael Jacquet. Michael Jacquet was undrafted last year, so we got to see what he got. These guys are all competing for that second spot, so it's definitely going to be interesting.
It is. Yeah, there's definitely there's a lot of competition, not only at that position, but all over this team for the most part. There's quite a bit of competition. Switching over to the other side of the ball. That's that was another thing I was going to ask you as far as like your expectations for the 3 second-year receivers. That we have in Jalen Reagor, Wes Watkins, and John Hightower. What are your thoughts and expectations for those 3 this year?
Jalen Reagor is honestly the only person I have like actual expectations for. I like Quez Watkins a lot. I like the work that he's been putting in the offseason. I like some of the stuff that John Hightower put on tape. Like he's a good route runner. I just feel like he was soft at the point of catch. He didn't really like go in there and make the grabs. Like, I felt like he could have been a lot stronger. That's something that you can obviously figure out over the offseason, but I like what Quez Watkins brings. I like what John Hightower can bring if he fixes some things. Jalen Reagor is the only person that I expect to do something this year, because if he doesn't, that's not a good look. It's not a good look. I'm at the point right now that I'm kind of, saying that last year was mainly because of our bad coaching. So if he goes out there and he's trash again, then it's on you, Reagor. It's on you. So, he's the only person I really expect something from. Everybody else was kind of late round picks, and if they hit, perfect. If not, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I definitely kind of feel the same way. And I definitely have high expectations for Jalen Reagor. He, especially him being playing more in the slot this year. It looks like I think that's going to be a good thing for him. I think he's going to be able to exploit the inside of the field with his skill set and things like that, and him not being the number one guy, I think that's even better for him too. I think he's going to blossom more as a complimentary guy in this league. So, definitely, I think hopefully we're headed in the right direction for Jalen Reagor and his career, especially for his longevity as a Philadelphia Eagle. We spent good draft capital on him, so he's got to step it up this year for sure.
Facts. Yeah, I mean, I like him. I hope that he does well. I'm on the wait and see train. That's what I'm with this whole Philadelphia team.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting and seeing.
We need to make like a wait and see train with a whole bunch of content creators in it. We're just like all in a sidecar.
Just literally, I'll be driving it. I'll be the conductor, because I'm telling you, I'm happy that people are confident in some of these guys, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody in the NFC East, and I've said this before, I don't think any team or any fan base in the NFC East should be really confident about what they put out last year. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody should really be beating their chest about anything. So
no, not at all.
Yeah, it was just a bad year from the whole division. So we'll see though. We'll see.
I definitely can't argue with you on that one at all, for sure. But the NFC, we definitely have, over the years, we definitely have earned that moniker of NFC least. So we definitely have to start, putting some better product out there on the field on a consistent basis and things like that. But as Eagles fans, I know we hope it's just us that improves and everybody else stinks. I know that's for sure.
Facts.
But I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah, we definitely will. It's going to be interesting. And since we're talking about the NFC East, I want to ask you this: which QB do you think in the NFC East will have the most all-purpose yards in 2021? And try not to be biased.
Realistically, I think it's going to be between Dak and Jalen Hurts, if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could tell me who the Washington, football team's quarterback is going to be by week 8, maybe that would change it. But like right now, I don't think, we've seen, I was one of those guys that was big on Daniel Jones. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Like before last year, I was saying he could surprise a lot of teams. He could surprise a lot of people. I thought that he had a good couple last games of his rookie year, and I thought it would translate into a good season his sophomore year. I was obviously totally wrong. He just kind of fell off of a cliff.
And they did lose Saquon too. I mean, that definitely hurt him. That put a lot of pressure.
His rookie year, though, it wasn't about him having Saquon. Like, this dude was putting up 5 touchdowns. He was, running for game-winning touchdowns. There was just something different about him.
Yeah.
And then he just lost it. Maybe it was Jason Garrett coming over here, coming over there. I don't know. But he lost it, and I don't know. Maybe he'll get it back. He'll regain that spark. But I don't think he'll go crazy as far as all-purpose yards go. So I think it depends. If Jalen Hurts can run for if he can break 1,000, which I think is kind of a tall order, but it's not crazy. Maybe he can win it, but I think that Dak Prescott will. If I'm being unbiased, if I'm being 100% honest.
Okay, so you think Dak's gonna? You don't think they're gonna try to keep Dak in the pocket more because of the of coming back from that major?
They might, but at the same time, he has 3 receivers out there that can legitimately hit 1,000 yards.
No, and he does.
Just there, he might hit 5K. He might hit 5K. Yeah. So just off that, he might beat Jalen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's very possible he just goes crazy as a passer this year. It's very possible he sucks though. So Jalen's right there with him.
It is. It's like you said. It's like we're on the wait and see train. Definitely until September. That's when we're gonna find out. But I think we all know that. I think we all are pretty confident that Devontae is going to be our number 1 receiver this year. And with Rieger more in the slot, who would you like to see, and who do you think is going to be on the other side of Smitty?
I would love to see Fulgham on the other side. I think that would be the recipe that worked in 2017. You got like an Alshon Jeffrey type, and you got your I guess Torrey Smith. Devontae Smith is a way better Torrey Smith, but I think you guys get my point. And then you have somebody good in the slot, like we had a Nelson Aguilar who had a good year. So it feels like that would be the recipe. But I wouldn't be mad if it was Quez Watkins. I think having somebody like Quez Watkins out there is just like speed on top of speed on top of speed. So I think that would be fun to watch, to be honest. Like it's not traditional, but I think it would be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think so too, and I really do hope that Quez gets his chance to be on the field more this year and show us, and put out, show us that little taste that we got against Arizona. I hope he comes back and he's able to, put that on a multiple of levels this coming year for sure. Because
Quez Watkins' trainer is like, my man's is a talker. He follows me on Instagram, and every time I say anything about Quez Watkins, he's like, smart man. Yup, Quez is gonna be a dog. Quez is gonna be this. I'm like, all right, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Every time he sees Quez anytime he sees QW in your nut, in your there, he's jumping on it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, what you said about my dog? But no, I'm excited for Quez. I like Quez a lot. That injury was unfortunate, but you saw flashes of him being just, a game breaker. I won't sit here and say he'll be a guy that will get you, 100 catches and 1,000 yards every year, but my man's could be a game breaker. He could be that guy that gets you like 30 to 50 catches a year and gets you almost, 900 to 1,000 yards because he's just, breaking over the top. So I don't know. I think sky's the limit for him, man. Gary Conley or Steve Nelson. Yeah, I wouldn't mind either.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't either. And, there was a report that came out a few days ago or so that the Eagles are only willing to pay, someone like Steven Nelson about $3 million a year. And that really rubbed me the wrong way, because I just really hope that we're not, headed in that same trend as we have been, not valuing certain positions. And I hope they're not heading in that trend with the cornerback position,
I also heard that we're only like $2 million away. So if his number is $5 million and we're coming in at $3 million and it's still a talk, I don't think you should be too upset. I think that's due diligence because at the end of the day, you go to a dealership like us as a like you got to realize we're like the kids at the candy shop with their parents, and at the end of the day, sometimes the parents got to say, all right, I don't want to pay $10 for that. And us as kids, we're like, just pay it. We want it. What the, just we want that. Give it to us. But as the parent, he's got to, listen. Can we save $2 million? So if that's the case, I'm not upset about it. But if he's just like, you want 10 mil? How about 3? Then that's just that's just like a disrespectful. And it's like, why even? But I don't feel like that's what's happening. I feel like there's an actual conversation going on there. So maybe you might hear something like a 4.5, 4 mil. I think if we can get the cap hit to be 3 mil, I don't give a damn what else we pay him. You could give him $1 billion and the Fresh Prince house in Bel Air. You can give him all that. Just keep that cap hit down. That's all. That's the only thing Eagles fans should really worry about.
Yeah, for sure. And that's always been Howie's strong part is the moving the money around, things like that. Other than that, Howie's had a lot of issues, but being the accountant side, he works a lot of magic when it comes to that stuff. So, you made a good point, and you're right. We as fans are like the kids in the candy store. We just want, and we don't necessarily know the whole picture. So that's, I definitely, appreciate the little slap in the face there to kind of wake me up a little bit. Need that.
I mean, because that's how I'm looking at it. Realistically,
I know.
I want to get upset. Don't get me wrong, because I do. There's a lot of people that I'm like, bro, just go get them. Like, just do it. But I know there's a lot that goes on, and I'm not a fan of Howie Roseman. I just had like a whole 2 days of just roasting Howie Roseman, so how I feel.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I like some of these guys, man. Like it's so hard for me to sit here and like be upset because I do. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit too close to the situation now. Like I need to stop interviewing guys because like every time I interview somebody, I'm like, oh, he's my new favorite player. This dude's gonna be a dog. So like, I don't know. Yeah, Jack Starr had me like, oh, this dude's the man, bro. This dude's the man. Like, so we'll see. I'm trying to stay like we said before. I'm trying to stay unbiased, but it's tough, man. They're saying all the right things. They really are.
Right. And so big play Slay. Shout out to you, man. He was on the live stream with me and BLSG yesterday. That was a whole lot of fun with everybody that jumped on the call in there.
Crazy. I was watching. Yeah. That was crazy.
Eagles champ on there ranting and raving about certain things. Doing his
shout out to Eagles champ though. Honestly, Eagles champ, and I don't know. He might get mad that I said this, but I had to kick Eagles champ off my channel for a little while because he was just wilding out in the comments. And I give him 100% credit because he did. He like hit me up and was like, "My bad, I was wilding out. I want to be on the channel." And since then, he's been a great subscriber. I love having him on the channel. Yeah, but I always thought that was a funny story, but that's really cool. It shows that he's willing to be, become a little bit better. Everybody has a little bit of a rant and get mad sometimes. Oh yeah, but I appreciated that. I appreciate.
He's a youngster. He's not even 21 yet, so he's still, he's still wet behind the ears. I could say that being that I'm just about twice as old as he is. So he's definitely he's got a lot to say, definitely, and he's a smart kid. He's just he's full of energy, and he's just got to channel it the right way, definitely. And
Max, he's good. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, for sure. But so Big Play Slay said he was talking about who will have the most all-purpose yards. He said easily Dak Prescott. I mean, it's not even close. He's the number 1 QB in the division.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, the only way I see it becoming close is if Jalen Hurts can run like crazy. Because like if Jalen Hurts runs for 1,000 yards and he passes for like 35, I mean, I just don't see him really hitting 4K. So I really don't think I really see like Dak could possibly hit 5,000 and just passing. Like his offense really is, and I don't think his defense is that much better. So, we'll see. I think I need to get that tattooed like on my forehead. Just we'll see. I've said that like 10 times today.
And then so Big Play Slate said Travis Fulgham, wide receiver 1, beginning of the season, and then Smith becomes wide receiver easily after game 1 or 2. He was talking about that yesterday, and I don't know.
I think wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 is like it really doesn't matter. It's a number at the end of the day. Like they're both going to be out there, on either side. So I think that's what matters most. If you mean as far as like Travis Fulgham will probably see the bulk of production in the beginning, that could be true just because he's still, he's a second-year guy. But realistically, Devontae Smith, I feel like they're going to have a good connection with him and Jalen Hurts. I think it's going to be like having your buddy come back, So it should be interesting. What's good, Joe?
What's going on, Drew Johnson? Thank you for joining the live stream. We really appreciate it. We are live on not only YouTube, but also Facebook. So everybody out there, anybody who watches this in the replay, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you read the scroller on the bottom and make sure you go like and subscribe to the Philly the podcast. My man, Joe Castro, doing his thing, and his show is only growing and growing by the day. So yeah, it's, you guys are definitely not going to be disappointed at all if you go check out his content. He's always doing videos, always doing interviews, things like that. So definitely make sure you guys go check out Philly the podcast with Joe Castro. He is doing great things for our Eagles community down there in Florida.
Hey, yeah, we got to
holding it down.
We got to do it. He said Phil Sims. We were taking it. It was Chris Sims.
Yeah,
everybody got it. It was Phil was a trash quarterback. He was good. He was good. He played for the wrong team.
Yeah. Phil was the trash quarterback. Chris is the trash talker.
Exactly. Chris, he's wild for that. That was just an atrocity. I'm going to do a whole video about that tomorrow. That's probably going to be my live show tomorrow. I need to talk to you, Chris. Like if I have any pull, you know what I'm saying? If I've been able to do a lot of these interviews, let me talk to you, Chris. I need to talk to you, Chris. Because I was talking to some of the people from PFF, and we like in emails and everything, like we were about to have them on the show, and I think they saw me talking, and they were like, "Never mind," because they were like, "Never mind, we ain't coming on." I was about to give them that smoke, man. I was upset.
Yeah, it's because they both work for. Well, I think Phil works for CBS and Chris works for NBC, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so and Chris is more of the sideline reporter now. I mean, to me that he only got into the NFL because of his last name, and if he didn't have that last name, I don't think he would. I mean, he would have played college ball probably, but I don't think he would have he would have never even been drafted in the NFL. And I never thought Chris was that good.
Yeah, he had like one good game. I can remember. He went crazy, and I was like, okay. I picked him up on fantasy and stuff. I was like,
it still has Nick Mullins. It still has Nick Mullins, right?
Nick Mullins. I feel like people are hating, and that's why I was trying to come on the show yesterday late night. Yeah. Because bro, I don't know what the hate is with Nick Mullins. I would in a heartbeat take Nick Mullins over Joe Flacco. I don't get it. I think the whole Nick Mullins thing is being way overblown. Whether he's a camp arm or whether he takes that number 2 spot. If I'm an Eagles fan, well, I am an Eagles fan. I don't know why I said that. But if I'm if I'm everybody else, I'm looking at it and I'm saying I'd much rather Nick Mullins take that backup job. Like Joe Flacco has been trash and he's old. Like he's literally not going to do anything. And Joe Flacco has said he's not trying to teach this dude nothing. I'm not saying Nick Mullins can teach him anything, but at least he's probably more willing to be that backup. That's what he's been for the past 4 years. So, I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying, Mullins is that guy. Mullins needs to start or that he's even in the conversation with Jalen Hurts. But as a backup, man, I'm taking Nick Mullins over Joe Flacco every time. What's good, my guy, Kev? That's like my bro right there.
Kevin Thomas, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining the live stream on the Nest Out West with my special guest today, Joe Castro from Philly the podcast. We're holding it down coast to coast. I'm in Cali. He's in Florida. So we are literally holding it down from coast to coast for you Eagles fans out there, for you football fans, for everybody out there. My Philbillies, Joe Castro's, all his loyal fans. He's almost at 2K, like Big Play Slay said. So you definitely, guys, make sure you go. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Philly the podcast. Let's get him to 2K this summer. And I know we will definitely make that happen.
Definitely. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So let's see. Looks like Damian Francisco said, "Yo, Castro, what part of Florida are you in?" I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
I'm right outside of Tampa.
Okay.
St. Pete. St.
All right.
Petersburg.
So you and Brandon are like the Tampa 2 then, huh?
Yeah, right.
There's another name for their podcast right there, the Tampa 2. If you're a Bucks fans, I guess, huh? That would work.
I'm actually gonna go to one of the I'm a Yankee fan. I know people are probably gonna hate to hear that, but the Yankees are playing Tampa next week, so I'm definitely going to that. And I was kind of hoping that on that.
Are you
Tampa
from New York?
Yeah.
Are you from New York originally, Joe?
My family is. I'm from Connecticut originally.
Gotcha.
My whole family is literally.
I know you're a Nets fan too. You're a Nets fan too, right?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
I know you don't. I know.
It was rough. It was rough.
Yeah. It was rough for the 76ers too. So we're both licking our wounds, definitely.
Yeah,
Big place. They said we got to talk about how Sims said Hurts wasn't even in the top 40 in QB rankings. Yeah, Joe touched on that earlier, and let these guys keep sleeping on Jalen Hurts and our Eagles. That's fine. That just puts us more under the radar. That just means we're gonna come out and slap some people around. We're gonna ask people what you want, front hand or backhand.
You ever watch that movie? I think it was what movie was it? I think it was How High, where he was like, "Put the baby powder in my hand," and then he smacked him. That's what we're gonna.
Oh yeah. Big Play Slate said Mullins is actually pretty solid. People don't understand that he's going to be competing with Flacco, and I would have him over Flacco at QB too. Facts. You know what? I think especially like with all the injuries that the 49ers had last year, I thought Mullins did a pretty good job. I thought he held it down for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people go crazy. A lot of people go crazy on him because he got benched by our team and we suck. But I mean, you can't judge him off that. His body of work as a backup is pretty good. Especially to only be, I think, 3 or 4 years in the league. I'm not mad at it, man. And he's coming over here for like $1 million or $2 million or something like that. I'm not sure what his exact contract, but like he's young. He's a definite upgrade over Jamie Newman. And no offense to Jamie Newman, but he's a definite upgrade. And he's a definite, in my opinion, upgrade over Flacco. So we'll see something. We'll see if he is. But, I think he can definitely be better than Flacco. That's why I was just like, why is everybody so mad about Mullins? Like, everybody's saying he sucks. Like, Mullins, I know this doesn't mean anything. And I'm not saying that he's, the next Patrick Mahomes. But the only person that has more yards than him in his first 16 games in the history of NFL is Nick Mullins. So, I mean,
right.
Like I said, I'm not saying Nick Mullins is going to bring us to a Super Bowl, but that's a pretty good stat to have as your backup,
Yeah. And I would be comfortable with him being our QB too. I really, really would. I wouldn't have any problem with that at all. And I think he would be a better teammate and a better mentor for Jalen. I think we've seen that Flacco doesn't want anything to do with mentoring anybody. Doesn't matter what team it has been, Baltimore, Denver, even here. I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of, to me, when I hear Joe Flacco talk, it's, I'm here to be the starting quarterback. And if that's not it, then I'm going to be a pouty little biatch about it, basically.
Yeah. And I mean, if sometimes that works, sometimes competition is a good way to learn.
Yeah.
But if Joe Flacco ends up being our quarterback, that's not good for anybody.
No,
that's not even a good Band-Aid. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I don't know. So Joe Flacco, we'll see. Well, I don't know. I don't want to sit here and talk junk about Joe Flacco, but
right. But yeah, I know you've seen it though, that the NFL today approved the second helmet thing in 2022. So yeah, it looks like we're getting the Kelly Greens back, baby, in 2022. Well, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm hyped. That's what we need. I really do feel like we need that. Like,
you got the old logo on your hat, so you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready. So yeah, I feel like the Eagles, like, man, we are a very different franchise. We're a different community. We thrive off stuff like that. Like our community, our feel, like that's what we need to be that 12th man. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to make us buy in, and I feel like I love that because I feel like that buys in a lot of fans. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped, man. I can't wait to get a bunch of, I'm definitely getting the Hurts and Kelly Green. I'm definitely getting the Sanders and Kelly Green.
Yeah.
But I'm hyped.
Maybe a D God and Kelly Green. Yeah, little tight end.
Exactly. A Jack Stoll.
I'm getting
a Jack Stoll. I'm getting a fake mullet. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm all in, man.
That's good. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I can't wait for them to be back too because I missed that Kelly Green. That's when I first started following the team and fell in love with the Eagles was when Randall Cunningham was running around and slinging the rock and jumping over people and just scoring touchdowns like a madman, things like that. So yeah, I'm juiced for the Kelly Green as well, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I need it. I need it back in my life.
What's going on, Yee? West Coast Birds in the house, yes, sir.
It's good.
My boy George Cordova out there, and he's not too far from me over here in Cali. He's on the other side of Sacramento, just right outside of Sacramento in Woodland. I don't probably not a whole lot of people know where that's at, but it's like 20 minutes from Sacramento, so we're pretty close in location. So what's going on, Yee? Thank you for joining the live stream. We appreciate it. Big Play Slay said, "I'm so happy Joe didn't become a Giants fan, bro. How crazy would that have been? LOL." Right?
That was the other option. That's my dad. My dad's favorite team was the Giants. So, yeah.
Dang, how does that go?
I'm glad I didn't. I am glad I didn't.
I know. I kind of know how that goes because my brother is a big Dallas Cowboys fan. So you have those division rivals in the family that can get a little sticky at times.
Yeah, you like. I just like talking junk with my dad. You know what I'm saying? That's how we bonded. Was just arguing. So
yeah, that's cool. That's always good. Good father-son bonding over sports.
Facts.
Yep, Kelly Green, 2022. Fire, yeah, absolutely. Can't wait. Mitch Kofsky's in the house. What's going on, Mitch?
MK in the building.
Yes, sir. If you guys haven't checked out Mitch Kofsky, definitely go check him out. He's covering, Eagles, Sixers. Definitely does a lot of good content. Check him out on Twitter as well, Mitch Kofsky. You definitely won't want to miss out on that. Go like and subscribe to him. Show him how strong the Eagles Nation is on YouTube and the social media platforms. Birdman_951 said 49ers think they're going to NFC Championship with Trey Lance.
I mean, we'll see. I like Trey Lance, though. I ain't going to cap. I really like Trey Lance coming out of college. I know he's got a little bit of ways to go, though.
If they would have went Mac Jones, I would have been blown away because
I wouldn't have been surprised, but I would have been quarterback. I would have been sad for the 49ers fans. I definitely felt bad for them.
For sure. Yeah. Football 2104 said trade Zach Ertz and late round pick to Miami for Xavier Howard.
If they would take that, hey, I would do that quick. Right? If they would take it.
They're not going to take a late round pick and Zach Ertz for that kid. I don't think so.
I can't see it.
I think they know they got way more. They can get way more for him than that, I should say. Yeah. And let's see. Big Play Slay said, I want to know in what buzzard world where a couple of unproven rookies are ranked above a proven quarterback. I want to know how Josh Allen is ranked over Aaron Rodgers. I want to know how Dak is over Brady. LOL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
it made no sense.
To me, that's Chris Sims just trying to get ratings. He's trying to get
attention. Yep. Exactly.
I don't think he necessarily believes that. I think he's just trying to get attention, like Joe said. Birdman_ said, "Watch your back, Sims."
For real.
Don't let me catch you at an Eagles game, boy.
Yeah, I hope he responds to me. I hope he comes on.
Right? Yeah. Oh man, I would love to see that. To watch that interview. That'll be classic. Eagles_Slayer95 said, "My boys." Yes, sir. In the building. He said, "Fly, Eagles, fly." And then Drew Johnson said, "I don't hate Mullins. I do hate that's the stat people bring about 4,000 starts and 16 starts, though."
I feel you. That's why I said it don't really mean nothing, but I mean that's a pretty cool stat. That's a pretty cool stat to have.
It is. Definitely, it's something he can definitely put on his resume. Birdman _ said, "Get rid of Flacco for a taco." Yeah, even a Jack in the Box taco.
I could definitely go for a taco right now.
Right? That sounds good. That does. Drew Johnson said, "I do." Milvet. Always showing love, said Yee. Let's see here. Big Play Slay said, "How Joe feel about Goddard this season?" Oh, Joe. He touched on that earlier. He's down with D God being our number one tight end, and Richard Rodgers being our number two, and then no mullet Jack Stoll being our strong number three.
You gonna earn it back though. You gonna earn it back,
right? Ref Taco's in the house. He said, "I'll be the taco."
Oh yeah, that's top 5.
Shout out, that was perfect timing, Ref Taco. Perfect timing. Very, very good. So there's let's see. We talked about Fletcher Cox a little bit earlier today, but I wanted to ask you, do you think that this is going to be Fletcher Cox's last year in Philadelphia? What's your gut instinct tell you?
No, I don't think so. I think he'll be here no matter what. I think he'll be Eagle till he retires. The only way I could really see it happening is if, like, I really can't. Yeah, I mean, there would have to be an absorbent amount of value that you give back to take Fletcher Cox off this team. So I just don't think that the Eagles really are going to be looking to do that, and I don't think any other team would really give up what we would want for him. So I just don't see it happening, to be honest. I see him getting extended before that.
Okay. Yeah, and unless some other major injury, not major, I should say, but if he does have anything come up that's major, that could definitely hinder that, obviously. But I think he's still got another, at least probably 3 years of productive football in him. So yeah, I think an extension would be fair. As long as it's somewhat team friendly, and he's not killing the books, then I would definitely.
If he extends, we could save like I think $12 or $13 million this year. So.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They should definitely. I think they should definitely look into doing that. I think so too. Unless somebody's willing to give us something good back in return in a trade, possibly for Fletch. But I love Big Fletch in the middle, and I have since he's been on this team. He's been a solid Eagle for the last decade. So it's gonna be tough to see him go. And he's been he gets double teamed a lot. So yeah, his numbers may not always be huge, but he garners a lot of attention always. So
exactly,
we have to definitely respect that. But along those, we're talking defensive line. Who do you think is going to be our sack leader this year?
That's a good question. If I'm going to go off a ledge a little bit and say that I'm going to say that Josh Sweat will beat Derek Barnett for the starting job on that outside defensive end spot, and I think he'll be our sack leader if he can stay healthy. I mean, if you look at his production, and I hate like extending numbers or predictive stats,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you look at his numbers and the snaps that he got, it feels like if you double those snaps, which would be, starter level snaps. If you double those snaps, he was able to stay healthy all 16 games. I feel like he could go out there and put up double-digit sacks pretty easily, to be honest, especially if our whole defensive line is healthy. I think I could see him going crazy. Maybe Fletcher Cox goes crazy. I mean, he got like 8 last year, and I mean, it was pretty much a down year for him. So, maybe he goes crazy. But I'm going to go off a ledge and say that it's going to be Josh Sweat.
Okay. Yeah. And I think a lot of Eagles fans are hoping that you're going to be right because I've seen a whole lot of potential and when he's on the field, out of Josh Sweat. So I definitely think that's definitely a very, very strong answer. And I think you're probably right. Especially if he continues to develop and emerge as the player that we think he can be, then I definitely think that Josh Sweat has a very good chance of leading this team in sacks this year for sure. What's going on, Philly Mike? The Philly Talk podcast is in the building. Philly Mike, yes, sir. So Ref Taco, he jumped in here on the Dallas Goddard talk a little bit. He said, "Yo, love Goddard. He had the third best game PFF in 2018 behind 2 Kittle games, where a 77-yard TD got called back. he's a stud. Yeah, I mean, this is Goddard's season, definitely. You know, he's definitely gonna step up and emerge as that clear cut number one tight end this year. I really do feel he's going to. He's due, definitely.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he, as long as he stays healthy, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's been his, that's been his kind of the hang up with him as the injury bug. But I think he's gonna have a healthy year for the most part this year, and he's gonna put up some big numbers, definitely. He said let's go get Nelson. Yeah, I mean, like Joe said earlier, I think they're still talking, and if we're offering 3 and and he wants 5, then I think they could probably meet somewhere in the middle, and hopefully we get something done before long, because I know we're not the only ones that feel this way. We definitely need some more, help at cornerback. I was hoping that we'd address it a little bit earlier in the draft, but like we always say, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, the free agent market for cornerback 2 is we have Conley still out there, like we talked about earlier, and so is Steven Nelson. So there's some guys out there that we can go get. We just got to make it happen.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. Jock Talk's in the building. Hey guys, how is everyone? What's going on, Jock?
Jock Talk.
We are good, sir. We are good, holding it down from coast to coast on not only YouTube but Facebook as well. Like I said earlier, if you guys haven't done so already, you must have been living under a rock. But go check out my man over here, Joe Castro at Philly the podcast. Definitely go sub him up. Go like, comment, and subscribe to his channel, and you definitely will not be disappointed at all. I guarantee it. Go check out that Jack Stoll interview from today, guys. That was some good stuff. Jack brought that energy, definitely.
Yeah, he's dope. He's a dope dude, man. I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I even said that on Twitter earlier. I said you could tell he seems like a cool dude, You could tell in the interview. Right. Ref Taco said Steven Nelson's stuff may be dead. We lowballed him, and Howie, with his stubbornness, probably.
I don't know if we lowballed him. That's the thing. I don't know if, from what I read, that he was asking about, that we were off. I don't want to say he was asking, but what I read, we were only off by like $2 million. So I don't know.
Yeah, and like I said, that's to me that they should be able to try to find a middle ground there, definitely, because I don't know how many other teams Steven Nelson has, offering
that's
him.
My thing, yeah.
Offering that money.
If somebody was offering him $10 million, I think he would have took it by now.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think he would have snatched that up, and even if it was with a trash team, he would have took a 1 or 2 year deal and took his money. Exactly. Been good with it. But let's see. We were talking defense a little bit ago, and I wanted to ask you this too. I know Alex Singleton he didn't even start all the games last year, but he had a really good team, really good team leading year, as far as leading the team in tackles. But do you think that with the entrance of Eric Wilson, do you think that's going to have an effect or dramatic effect on Singleton's numbers this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should. I hope it does, at least. I don't think I like Alex Singleton, but I don't think he's a top level linebacker. I think that last year we kind of got, used to mediocre linebacking play. Was he better than Nate Gary? Definitely. I think I could line up at linebacker and probably do better than Nate Gary did last year. So realistically, I think that Eric Wilson stepping in probably will. We'll see who wins those other jobs. I mean, I hope Alex Singleton does well. I also like TJ Edward. I also like Jacoby Stevens. I like a lot of these guys. So I think that nobody's guaranteed, anything right now. So I think that's a good thing, though, to be honest.
Yeah. Philly Mike said, tell Joe no naps during the day. LOL, my bad, Joe.
I'm going to take another nap after this, man. I'm tired. It's been a long day.
Joe's going to have a taco and go take a nap.
Yeah, for real, right? I need a couple tacos, man.
Oh, if you ever come to California and we're able to tailgate or something, I'm definitely you got to try my wife's tacos. Mrs. Foothills makes some killer
Oh, I'm
tacos. So
down.
yeah, you
I'm
definitely got to
down.
try those, man, sometime.
Hey, food. You can get me anywhere with food, man.
That's awesome, man. So I also wanted to ask you too, who you think is going to lead this team in touchdown receptions this year?
I'll probably say, I would say Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert's probably the only person I really, really trust in the end zone right now. If I'm, maybe Devontae Smith because you know him, but if I'm Jalen Hurts,
Yeah.
right now, Dallas Goedert's the only guy. I mean, if Ertz is here, then I switch my answer to Ertz. But I think Dallas Goedert's the only guy that you can really say like, I know if I throw this up here, I have confidence he's going to catch it. So that's really the only person I could say in the red zone I would be forcing it to. So I'm gonna go with Dallas Goedert.
Got you. Okay. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Devontae Smith. I think him and Goddard are going to be very close, but I think he's going to be. I think he's going to lead the team in touchdowns. I think he's going to have some big plays this year, and he's going to score some in the red zone as well. So I'm going to give it to Smitty.
I hope so. I hope he gets Rookie of the Year.
Right? That would be awesome. I don't know if we even ever had an offensive Rookie of the Year that you can remember. I can't remember one. Maybe before our time, but I don't even know how long they've been giving out that award.
Probably before our time. I don't know. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I wonder if Fletch won it.
Right? How old are you, Joe?
31.
Okay. Yeah, I'm almost 40. I turned 39 in April this past April, so I'm pushing that 40 number.
There we go.
But like you said, black don't crack, so you're doing good for 31. Ref Taco said, "Thanks, I realized that." Let me see here. Drew Johnson said the whole team is overdue for a healthier season. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, absolutely, we are. And knock on wood, that happens because we definitely have been bit pretty hard by the injury bug, not just last year, but these last couple years.
Yeah, at some point we gotta stop being so cursed.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a full healthy season for once.
Right.
I think it had a lot to do with our former staff, though.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm at least hoping so. Definitely, hoping it's not, anything that's going to continue to be a bad trend in that direction. But I think the new training staff, things like that, new coaching staff, even, I think there was just, I test a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but some of the injuries definitely last year were because of bad preparation.
Definitely.
Just bad practicing, just bad practice of getting your body ready to perform out there on the field. Just bad stretching, just things like that. I've read a lot of things that were going on that were just a lot of lackadaisical BS that was going on in the training facility and the practice fields, things like that last year. So definitely hoping that, and I'm pretty confident that this new coaching staff isn't going to let anything like that happen. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping so because it was definitely annoying.
Yeah,
definitely annoying.
It was. Ref Taco says, "Fuego, $30 for the reserved parking Eagles sign."
You probably cop your own for that much.
I got people trying to buy my set now.
You can probably buy one for like $30-$35.
You could probably get it for
how much
cheaper than that.
Yeah, maybe even cheaper.
It's not
on
signed
Amazon,
by.
Man, you got to go on Amazon.
It's not signed by Dick Vermeil. I mean, come on.
That would be impressive, though. It'll probably be a lot more than $35. Sure.
Right? Philly Mike said, "Facts true." Yes, sir. Jock Talk said, "Joe, who has been your favorite interview?" Good question.
Derek Gunn. It's really not that even close on it. I mean, unless you're asking just like players. If it was just players, maybe probably like I don't know. Maybe. I mean, Ryan Kerrigan was probably like the biggest name, right? But like Jacoby Stevens was a lot of fun. He was a cool dude. Jack Stoll, I don't know. Jack Stoll might be the guy that, like, his interview was fun. He was a cool dude.
Yeah,
to be honest, like I just loved his interview. So I mean, like Ryan Kerrigan was probably the biggest one I've done. But for me, if we're talking about players right now, it's probably Jack Stoll. Jack Stoll was his energy was just crazy. It was fun. I felt like I was talking to one of my homies.
Right. That's it. And that's how I feel like it would be to interview somebody like Brandon Graham. They just feel like they're real down to earth guys that would just wouldn't BS you. They're just gonna speak from the heart and let you know how it is. Definitely. So I'm definitely glad that you got to do that. That's really cool that you got to do that interview today. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Ref Taco said and I think he's talking about Steven Nelson, was asking for a respectable $5 million, and we asked like $3 million. Yeah, exactly. So they're not too far apart. So a good agent should be able to negotiate with Howie and get a deal done and get Steven Nelson in the damn building. Let's get it going. We need a cornerback too. We need one bad.
Or maybe they they believe in what's it called?
Michael Jacquet?
Maybe they really do believe in Michael Jacquet.
Maybe
they believe in Zach McPherson. I mean,
we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah,
right.
I haven't been at the practices, so I haven't really been able to see. Training camp is going to answer a lot of questions.
Yeah, I know it will for sure. Definitely. Brian Hogan said, "What up, boys? Brian from the Jump, the Sharp here, about to record our show this week. Been rocking with you ass with your ass." Yeah, nice. With your ass.
Yes.
Right. And he said, I do some show notes. Keep up the great stuff. Thank you, Brian. We really appreciate it. You jumping on the live stream with us. And I'm always holding it down out here in the Nest Out West out here in Cali. And I know Mr. Castro is always holding it down out there in Florida with Philly the podcast. So we are definitely very much appreciative of you and your joining the show.
For sure.
For
sure.
Right? For sure. Random Anton, thank you for joining the show, man. I really, really appreciate it. He's a good supporter of Eagles content on YouTube for sure. I see him not only on my live streams all the time, but on multiple guys' channels. He said, "Why is nobody picking up Steven Nelson? Is there something wrong with him?"
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Besides the fact of him asking probably for more money than some teams are willing to pay for a cornerback 2-ish type of player, then I don't know. I haven't heard anything health issue wise wrong with Steven Nelson. I mean, he did kind of have a down year last year with Pittsburgh, but I mean, it is what it is. Guys have down. And last year was, we can't. We can only take last year for really what it was. It was a weird year for a lot of people. We went through a pandemic. Guys were playing through lots of different things. Worried about their family members and things like that. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I mean, have you heard anything, Joe?
No, I mean, only thing I heard was the money issue. But now that I'm hearing that he only wants like around $5-6 mil, I don't know why that's an issue. It could just be him waiting. Like I know earlier in the offseason, he was saying that he had a whole bunch of teams hitting him up and he was just going to kind of wait it out. I know towards like the later part of people's career, they kind of try to skip a lot of these, voluntary this, random meeting that.
Yeah.
So he could just be waiting and just, come to training camp, he'll finally sign somewhere. But yeah, I think it is an interesting thing to look at because are we the only ones, offering him anything? So that could be the possibility too, and that's why we're only offering $3 million. So it might work to our favor if we are the only ones going after him, though.
Definitely. If I've heard, possibility, I've heard us and, because of the holdout with Xavier Howard, possibly Miami, he's been on Twitter tweeting things about the Eagles and about the Dolphins. So he's definitely one of those players that's not shy to go to be on social media and things like that. So he's always dropping things on there, definitely. But Ref Taco said Sean Bradley will lead the team or lead the tree AM in tackles with about 90. Wilson will have like 70 to 80, and Singleton and Davion get around 50 to 60. Wow. That'd be a big drop off for Singleton, definitely. Going from over 100 and something. Right, that is a lot of tackles.
That's like 500 tackles right there. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I hope that they all do great. Shoot. I can't. I'm not mad at any of that.
I mean,
just figure it out.
Right. With Eric Wilson and with Alex Singleton, we know those guys can play. If either one of these young guys can step up, the Sean Bradley or the Damian Taylor, then that would be the more the better for us for sure.
Exactly. Just get us some starters.
Exactly. Yep. BLSG, what's going on, my guy? He said, "Yo, Foothills and Philly, the podcast. What's going on? By the way, Philly Foothills, I loved our collab last night, and it was amazing. Yes, I agree. It was lots of fun, and I don't know. Sometimes having a lot of people on there can get a little hectic, but last night was definitely fun. I'm glad we can get the more the more vocal conversationalists on there at times, but yeah, it was a blast." Ref Taco said Goddard has a red zone target. He's a red zone target with a nice frame. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of what you want out of your tight end one is, definitely someone that's going to be that big body for you down especially when you get down towards the goal line and be able to, like Joe said, hopefully lead your team in touchdowns.
Yeah, facts.
Right. Ref Taco, maybe he was talking about offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, he was. That's crazy.
Steve Van Buren in 1937. Oh my gosh. That was a tad overdue.
Yeah, right.
Goodness gracious. Jock Talk said every year Doug was our coach, was injury bug. Yeah. Hopefully we got rid of a big part of the, hopefully the coaching staff had a lot to do with, the amount of injuries that we did accrue.
No more ice cream after practice.
Right. Random Anton said Keith Jackson, rookie of the year in 1988. Okay.
Oh, that was a tight end. So
right.
Hey, maybe,
there you go.
Maybe Jack Stahl could get rookie of the year. Tight end to tight end,
That would be crazy. An undrafted free
That
agent.
would be crazy.
That would be absolutely insane. Crazier things have happened, though, definitely. Kevin Thomas said Gunn was an amazing one. He's talking about Joe's interviews.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Ryan Kerrigan. Yes, sir. Ref Taco said, I ain't see the signature. Dick's got it. Ref Taco, you're crazy, bro.
I called it, though. I said 35.
Yeah, you did. I was trying to get a steal.
I respect it. See, that's what Howie's trying to do with Steve Nelson.
Right. Trying to lowball him. Philly _girl 76 said, love the Stoll interview. Nice guy. Yes. That's what Joe said too. He seems like a really cool dude.
Stoll was the man. Shout out to Philly girl. Oh yeah, he was definitely the man.
Yeah. She Philly girl with no eyes.
Yeah, it threw me off at first.
Right. Kevin Thomas said, heard they might have Wallace play some cornerback. Yeah, I heard that as well, that Kayvon Wallace might play some corner, but I don't know. I think he's a safety to me. And just like I thought Jalen Mills wasn't really a safety, and they were kind of stretching it, putting him at safety when he's really just a corner.
Yeah, I think Kayvon Wallace is how do I say this? I don't think he should be at cornerback, but they do have him listed at cornerback. So we'll see. We shall see what he does.
Right.
A lot of different names at a lot of different places. So it's going to be interesting. Training camp is going to answer a lot of questions, like I said.
Yep. Just add another question to the wait and see train, right?
Exactly.
Choo-choo!
Just another question for the comment board.
Exactly. Rev Taco said, I hate Xavier Howard. He held out until he was the highest paid. Now Jalen Ramsey and Marlon Humphrey got the bag. So he trying to take back his throne. Asshole, you get 17 million and he probably ain't invested either. Well, hey, he has had more interceptions the last 3 years than the NFL in totality. Just that guy himself. So if anyone is deserve of getting his bag, I think it's Xavier Howard, if you ask me.
Yeah, but are we
I'm not going to
paying
hate
that?
the guy for trying to get his coin.
Not at all, but are we paying that? Because I don't think we
Right.
are. I don't think we're in a position to do that. So
yeah, I don't think so
it
either.
goes back to the whole trading for him deal. I don't know.
Right. Exactly. Josh Sweat. Let's see. Slasher said, Josh Sweat breakout season incoming. Let's hope so. That's
I
definitely
hope so.
right. Ref Taco said, did everyone just leave or was my phone acting up? Is nobody chatting in 8 minutes besides this one? Hey, it's my channel's still growing, so I don't have a ton of people, but we got 11 people in the live stream right now. We've had up to about 15 or 16, I think. But yeah, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the Nest Out West yet, you guys, please make sure you do so. If you want more content from my channel, please make sure that you hit that subscribe. And either way, if you like or dislike the video or whenever you watch my content, please always make sure you hit that like or dislike thumbs up. It helps push my content out there. It helps with the YouTube algorithm and all that complicated jazz, but it definitely helps get my my show noticed more. So please make sure you hit that thumbs up before you leave. And make sure you go sub up to my man Joe Castro here. He's out there in Florida holding it down for the Eagles Nation. He's not in Philly like me. I'm out here on the West Coast. He's out there on the East Coast, down there in Florida, holding it down with that tropical rain going down. And he's staying dry on the inside, doing a live stream with me. So what better place to do it? Let's see. So, Joe, who do you think is going to step up as our running back 2 this year?
Think
it's going to be Carry-On?
If I had to pick somebody, I probably would say Carry-On. I just think that he has the best chance right now. I think that if he's healthy, he's probably the second best running back, at least on this roster. So I would probably say Carry-On Johnson. And he's different from what Miles Sanders is.
He's definitely what?
He's different from what Miles Sanders
is. Yeah. Right.
So I definitely think that, that'll be a nice little 1-2 punch.
I think so too. And if his knee's good to go, I think it will be Johnson as the number 2. And I think that I think Gainwell would probably be Miles's backup. And then if Howard's still on the team, I think Jordan Howard would probably be Carry-On's backup. But I don't know if we're going to keep all these heads, as far as all these running backs. So, do you see? I mean, someone like Boston Scott, do you think he's going to be on more of the outside looking in this year?
Yes, possible. I think that if we go with 4, I honestly don't know if Kenneth Gainwell is going to make this roster. We'll see. I don't really know where all the hype is from, but I think he'll be a practice squad guy.
I got you.
But I think if we go with 4, Boston Scott will make this team. But if we only go with 3, then yeah, he probably will be the guy outside looking in.
Yeah, and that's gonna be tough because he's been such a good giant killer for us. And I just hope he doesn't. If he does leave the Eagles, I hope he goes to the AFC or not in the division, because if he goes to the football team or the Giants, then he's going to be a thorn in our side. I just see it happening. Yeah. I really do.
A little short thorn.
Yeah, a little short pinball bowling ball that's got that low center of gravity and very hard to tackle. Yeah, he's a lot like he's kind of built like Darren Sproles was. He's not very tall, but definitely powerful. Definitely. Yep. If Ref Taco said the football economy, that's a football economy. Why you sign a multiple-year deal? Then if you know you want to go good, I got it back. I got to get it back. Yeah. Let's see. All right. I think that was, the fact that I honestly I liked the pick of Gainwell, like you said, but I think he's I think he might be a more of a if he is he might possibly be practice squad, but I think there's also a possibility that he could be a special teams contributor possibly for this
Possibly. I
team this
mean,
year.
I don't think he did much on the special teams in college, but I know he was more of like a receiving type back. I mean, if he does make it, it'll probably be off the back of that.
Yeah.
I just don't really see him beating out Jordan Howard or Kerryon Johnson. And I think if it's between him and Boston Scott, Boston Scott has at least shown that he can play special teams. I don't know if everybody wants him to, but he can. And honestly, I'm looking for one of these wide receivers to take that take a returning job or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see what Kenneth Gainwell does, but I'm not too high on him being like a number 2 or number 3.
I got you. Yeah, and the so that leads me to the one of the last questions that I had for you written down anyway is that out of some of these younger guys that possibly or probably going to be more of special teams guys like a Adrian Killings or a Quez Watkins, a Gainwell or even Jalen Rieger, but who do you see as like our primary punt return and kick return guys this year?
I'm hoping it's Quez. I really hope it's Quez.
Oh.
I think Quez will be scary. I mean, well, at least for punt return, if he can do kick return, that'd be dope too.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm hoping Quez, and hopefully Jalen Rieger gets back there sometimes too. So, one of those two. I want to see one of those two because I think they're probably our most explosive players.
Yeah. And I think I would be comfortable with, especially if Rieger's going to be in the slot. I would be comfortable with Quez or with Jalen back there, take fielding punts. And as far as kickoff return, I would it'd probably be more of Adrian Killings or possibly someone like Quez if he's comfortable with it. But we have to, especially with, I think punt returns is can be a little more valuable, in a little more of a. Especially later on in the year when you get in those dogfights, when it's low scoring games and things like that, and if you can flip the field on a good punt return and get your team on the other team's side of the 50, then that could be invaluable sometimes in the NFL. So I wouldn't, a lot of people that I've mentioned putting Jalen Rieger back there as our punt returner are kind of like, really, you would do that? But I'm one of those guys that's, when I played football in high school, you have to play at 110%. You can't go out there and try to not get hurt, because if you do that, you're going to get hurt even worse. So when in the game of football, you got to go out there and you got to put you just got to go full bore or nothing at all, basically. So, I definitely wouldn't be hesitant to put him back there.
I agree 100%. Yeah, definitely. If he wants to be out there, you got to put him out there, man. Same thing when we had D-Jax. D-Jax
exactly
had some incredible returns for us. So definitely, I definitely agree.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you said that. I know you said you wanted we could go for about an hour to hour and a half. So we're right around that hour and 15-minute mark right now. There's some comments in here, but it's a lot of people chatting back and forth and things like that. So I'm not going to go through them all right now, but Joe, I really just wanted to say thank you very, very much for for coming on my channel today and be a part of the Nest Out West and and Philly Foothills here. So yeah,
My pleasure,
you
man.
definitely always have a big fan here in me, and I like what you do on your show, and I really am getting more and more into to Philly the podcast. So just keep doing
appreciate
what
that.
you're doing. And before we go, make sure you tell everyone where they could find you and things like that.
Yeah, definitely check me out at Philly the podcast, man. But definitely just hit me up, man. Once the season comes and there's more news and stuff like that, we'll definitely do this again and everything. Right now it's a tough time for content creators because there's like nothing going on. But
Right.
I'm sure once it happens, it'll all happen at once. So we'll have a lot to talk about. So yeah, anytime you ever need me, man, I love what you guys do out there on the West Coast, repping the Birds, man.
Yes,
you,
sir.
Birdman, you guys are killing it. I appreciate you guys putting on for the Eagles, man. So,
absolutely,
yeah, man. I had fun, and yeah, if you guys like what you guys heard, if you guys want to check out some interviews from some of the newer players, definitely come check me out at Philly the podcast. But yeah, I appreciate the time, man. I really do.
Yeah, and I feel that I do as well. Like I said, very appreciative to have you on the show. So thank you, Joe. Like you said, we're gonna do it again. We'll do it again many more times in the future. Especially when we get closer to the season and things like that, and it gets start jumping off more and more. But yeah, you guys will. My Philbillies, you would definitely have not seen the last of Joe Castro and Philly the podcast on this channel. So definitely stay tuned for more of that. And until next time, stay mean, stay green. And thanks for viewing me on your screen. And fly, Eagles, fly. And most importantly,